Hi, this is Zach here with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Tuesday, the 4th of November. Starting off with the S&P, which, according to pre-market data, is already approaching the old initial October resistance around 67.60. And that's something that we're expecting at the moment, given the way that we failed to get to the top of the channel towards 7,000. Obviously, it was a big ask. And obviously, given the way that the other markets have fallen over so far today. We go below than 67.60 on an end of day close basis, we've got the risk of full-blooded pullback to the floor of the channel there from April down towards the 50-day line and the floor of the channel, uptrend line from April at 66.47. This stage, only back above the 6,800 level on an end of day close basis really negates the pullback that we are apparently seeing. Next along the list is the Nasdaq 100, and here similar consolidation here, but at the higher levels, top of that channel there towards 25,900. We have been looking for a best case scenario target up to as high as 26,700, but it may have to wait for a test of the initial October resistance around 25,200. Once again, the floor of the channel there and the 50-day line 24,600 potential support point if we do have a rug pull over the next 24 to 48 hours. Moving on to the stocks and starting off with a situation which is called Amkor. And here, the other point to note actually is that we didn't have too many charting situations to look at today. But first one is Amkor. And here we've got this wide rising trend channel. The floor of the channel has been guiding the shares up higher over the recent past. But here you can see that we've gapped up through the $33 area and looking for as high as $50 by the end of the year, by the end of next month. Given the way that the consolidation that we've had, we've seen basically the RSI stay above the neutral 50 almost continuously since the beginning of June. So that is a very strong price action situation. So above 33, looking for 50 on Amkor. Another situation which may have legs is coming up, and you can see that it comes in the form of Cipher mining. You can see that we've got this steep rising trend channel, and the shares basically hitting the top of the channel yesterday. As you can see, that's basically the line is there, and heading for as high as $30, hopefully by the end of the year, while we're above the floor of the channel and maybe above the latest gap there at 20, so above 20, looking for 30 on Cipher mining. Next on the list is a stock which we looked at quite recently, Davis Commodities, and blown the lights out of the top of the channel there around the $2.10 level, and hoping that we can have more follow through. In fact, you can see that the upper parallel of that rising trend channel heading for up to $4.30, which is our end of year target. Maybe the way things are going actually might be the end of November target, but at the moment being modest in our aspirations, given how we've already had a very sharp vertical move on that situation. Moving along to Estrella, and here another sharp rising trend channel. Top of the channel there, heading for $4, but looking for that while we're above recent broken resistance through $2.70, and ideally we stay above that level on an end of day close basis. Once again, you can see the RSI pattern here, very, very strong. Almost all the peaks and troughs above the RSI 50 level since the end of August. One to follow as well, perhaps, is infrared cameras. And here you can see that basically hit our first target there around the $1.95 level. Above that, looking for a fresh leg to the upside up to $3 once again by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay on the right side of the 180 to 200 cents band. We move to another riser, which is Nautilis, and here just breaking out of a recent consolidation. The breakout area around $1.55. Above that, looking for top of the channel there as high as $2.65 by the end of this month. Strong RSI price action there, strong RSI action there since the end of September. On to the last few. The first one is one that I don't think we have looked at before, but Here we have Nano Vehicles, which sounds very modern and upmarket. $2.30, the top of the channel there. That's what we're looking for in coming days while we remain above recent broken resistance around $1.86. So hopefully we get there relatively soon. Stock which we have looked at before because it's a very memorable name is Skyline Builders. Here we're just approaching the top of the rising trend channel here around the $4.70 level. Above that line, we're looking for the 200-day moving average, $6.63 by the end of this month. Ideally, we can stay above the right side of $4, which is recent broken resistance anyway for that situation. Finishing off with the name that most people have heard of, and it is Tesla. Interesting pattern here in the sense that we've got that rising trend channel which has been drawn for ages up to $4, the $4.60 area, and the upper parallel of that channel heading for up to $530 rather. And while we're on the right side of $450, looking for $530, perhaps as soon as the end of the year. The reason for saying that is that we've had two clear RSI 50 rebounds in the recent past, and we had one earlier in October. So that is also a positive, as is the way that you can draw an uptrend line in the RSI window from as long ago as April. It tends to be the case that the longer the line, the stronger the trend. And once we break recent resistance towards 470, then the 530 area should arrive relatively quickly. And obviously, that would be record levels for the shares. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.